Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Pineleaf. I am back here with Walnut to report what I heard as I was questioning the various witnesses around there. And let's find out if any of this leads to some good information. First, I questioned the cook, as I thought. Most citizens of Cliving would have a difficult time sneaking into the kitchen unnoticed. The kitchen servant, Eldora, seems rather suspicious. I will keep her in mind as a potential suspect, or at the very least, she may have witnessed something that could have helped us. Good work, right? And I also questioned the guard captain. Evidence indicates that the dagger belonged to Swiftthorn. I'm not well acquainted with the man, but I do not like what I have learned thus far. Do you suspect that he harbors a grudge against the Reeve for the fate of his brother? Perhaps we need to learn more before rushing to judgment. I think that's almost a given that we need to learn more before rushing to judgment. And I guess I should also say I am slowly but not quite rushing to 79. Whee! And finally, I've also questioned the neighbor. Odisol discussed several people who saw Malbjort before he passed, but this Wiegfugel in particular struck her as most unusual. I wonder what old Wiegfugel discussed with Malbert before he met his end. Well, I don't know. Uh, uh, so, that's what I found out. Anything else you want? I believe we're getting ever closer to solving this mystery, Pineleaf. There are three primary suspects that we must consider. Really? We're calling them suspects by now? That's right. The soldier, Swiftthorn, the cook's assistant, Eldora, and the old man, Wiegfugol. Yes, each was seen visiting Marbeard and may have killed him to cover their attempt at poisoning against the Reeve Athelward. You're coming up with quite a tale here. You know that? Yes, you have been paramount in our progress in this investigation thus far. Interrogating these individuals will prove crucial to discovering the truth. So I must leave this task to you. So I must ask some pointed questions. Should I use pointed objects to encourage them to speak? Swiftthorn should be among the Rohirrim near the mead hall. Wigfugo resides at the estate to the northwest, and Eldora's home can be found near the east entrance to Cliving. Question each of them carefully and return to me with their responses. Yes, I will. Let's see. Let me interrogate the suspects. Good day, sir. We are currently investigating the recent death of the local apothecary, and we need to question the people who have been speaking with him lately.
We must stand by while the minions of Orthunk spread their influence.
You suspect me of these rumored crimes? How shameful! Know that I am a respected elder of this community. I was visiting Malbjord for treatment to the terrible nightmares I began having shortly after my son and his family lost their lives. His croft was raided and burned in the first orc assaults, and still Athelward has refused to defend those helpless families outside the city walls. It is true I harbor no love for the Reeve after such a heartless decision, yet I would not resort to poisoning him. Consider for a moment how a citizen such as myself would have access to the Reeve's kitchen. Surely someone would have noticed my unexpected presence there? Well, there is that. I'll grant him that. That he probably didn't have much in the way of access. Of course, the question is, how much access would he have had to the apothecary? This looks awkward. Hello, Eldora?
Our mission is dire.
I know that you're investigating the poison found in the kitchen and the murder of Malbert. Yes, I have heard the rumors. I must explain my actions so that you understand why I am innocent of these matters. I have been taking care of the injured man you see before us, Frestan. He was wounded in battle and is greatly impaired. I care greatly for Frestan, though he knows it not, and I have been overseeing his aid through medicinal herbs that Malvert has provided for us. I have been here frequently tending to him, thus my absence from the kitchen. It is true that no one can account for my whereabouts when the crimes were committed, but know that I have no more reason to harm Athelward than anyone else in town. Furthermore, Malbert was helping me treat Freston, and I would never have wished harm to come upon him. Well, yes, he is. Well, he's definitely alive and injured. So, she's got a pretty good point there. Now, what about the soldier? After speaking with a couple of soldiers, I think I finally found Swiftthorn. Hello there.
Our mission is dire.
Captain TitanBar told me of the circumstances involving Malbert and my dagger. I understand your reason to suspect me, but I can assure you that I had nothing to do with his murder. My weapon was likely taken from me in order to draw suspicion towards me and away from the real killer. On the night of Malbert's life was taken, I was patrolling the city perimeter with other guards. Had I left to visit his home, my absence would have been very strongly noticed. I have been grieving the loss of my brother, yet, at, as I have explained to Thedmar, I do not blame the Ree for his death. I respect Athelward greatly, and I understand his decision must have been a difficult one. I am an honorable man, and these despicable crimes are below me. Now, I presume then that hypothetically we could have Swiftthorn working with the noble together in order to do this, where one may have put in the poison and the other one done the killing, but now we're talking things about being a little bit too convoluted, so to speak. Or we go like a Murder on the Orient Express version and says that, oh yes, and they recruited the cook's assist. Now we're getting into the realm of the complete ridiculous. So I think I'll just discard that notion. Hello there. I spoke with the three suspects. Are you sure you haven't come up with the other suspects?
Will you aid the horse lords?
Each suspect has given a different reason why they should be absolved. Swiftform claims to have witnesses for when Malbert was slain. Eldora seems to be lacking a motive to harm either victim. And Wigfugo would like us to consider his lack of access to the restricted kitchen. The time draws near. Consider each testimony and all the evidence discovered. Action must be taken before others come to harm. We must apprehend a guilty party. Really? Now? Uh, 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 shouldn't we actually look for more? No, you're not looking for more evidence. Okay. So, do we want to apprehend Eldora? Come on. Yeah, right. Like she would do it. As said, Swiftthorn, he was on guard duty at the time with others. And then Wigfugle sort of defaults to him despite him not having access to the kitchen. You realize that this is not going to work out well.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
So you believe Weak fell to be the culprit? Yes, I believe him. Well, let's just say I don't believe the other two possibly can be. I think that's probably a safer way to. You're the one who's assuming that it's one of the three. Yes, I cannot understand that his grudge against the Athwol gives him the strongest motive. It can't be understated, yes. Living alone at his estate, he has no witnesses for the whereabouts during those crimes. It takes little imagination to see how weak Fugol was the one responsible for this atrocity. I trust your decision on this matter, and I shall go and apprehend him and put him in a cell in the dungeon. Meet me inside the dungeon under the mead hall. Right. Yeah. Huh. Really. 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 I think Oz better favor the person with the gem. And the first time I did this quest was before that gem quest existed. Ah, here he is. He doesn't look happy. Well, how's it doing?
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Wiegfugel protested when I came to him, but eventually he relented and came along willingly. We will hold him here as we gather more evidence to prevent him from causing further harm. Think on it now. I believe this was the best decision, Pineleaf. Wiegfugel's disdain for the Reeve led him to this scheme of deception and murder. Athwol's life will be safer with Wiegfugel locked away. Well,
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
you've been a tremendous help, both to me and to the people of Cliving. We all owe you a debt of gratitude for your fine service. Reeve Otherwald has sent word that he would personally like to thank you for your assistance on these matters. Go to him with haste. The Reeve's time is precious, and it is rare for him to pay heed to visitors of your stature. He doesn't like short people, apparently. I have found the Reeve. There's Othelward there, who is not in favor with a number of people, apparently. First of all, the person that we just arrested. And of course, Mildred, she doesn't like him in the slightest either. And there may be one or two other people that don't like him. Let's see what he has to say for himself. There we go. Here. He has a couple of daughters there. And a dead bear. So let's see what he has to say.
You have done well.
Well, at least he seems to appreciate my efforts for him. Pineleaf, you must be the wise hobbit I have heard so much about. I simply must thank you. I could not be more pleased with the results of the investigation. To think that a coward will threaten my life with poisons rather than face me with their grievances in person. It sickens me. Well, considering what happened to the last person who had a grievance against him and faced them, it maybe there's cause for that. Yes, we must put these matters behind us, for further turmoil yet lies ahead for me and my people. Receive this reward, and please consider helping us further. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Well, that's not bad at all.
I need you to do this.
You need me to do this. You have already proven yourself capable of managing important and challenging tasks, so it is with confidence that I entrust you with an errand of utmost significance. My primary thought is always to keep safe the people of the Norcrofts, yet I simply have not the writers at my disposal to scour every corner and crevice of my land for the threat of these invading armies. I have given orders for the people to retreat into Cliving or to flee south to Edoras. Those within the city walls will be protected. Many of the crofters have either not received the call for evacuation or failed to realize the seriousness of this matter. Please write to them now and make certain that they understand the dangers of remaining at their crofts. Maybe they're practicing social distancing. Oh, okay, okay. Perhaps this isn't the best time for that particular effort. Now, what about this? Yes, the epic storyline. I bring a message from Mildred. Speaking of people who don't exactly like him.
Welcome to Cliving, friends from afar.
Yes, I am Malthaward, Reeve of the North Cross and Thane of Cliving. My house and hospitality is yours while you stay. Oh, Mildred, what happened to her should not have happened to any lady of Rohan. Losing first her husband and then her son. I should have been more understanding of the boy's youthful boldness, but he called my honor into question. The sword trial is the customary means of resolving such disputes. I did not know his wound would fester in such a way. I would have it back if I could. Taking young Seaflot as my ward seemed the kindest thing to do, but I can understand a mother's grief may make it seem otherwise. I will answer any questions of yours, and you are of course free to see Seaflot. If it is not too much trouble, could I ask you to help Cuthred, the captain of my guard, with his duties after you have spoken with Seaflood? Right. I suppose I can do that. Let's see. What goes on in this area? They Mildred distrust you. Hmm. So why exactly did you take Seaflood as your ward?
Thank you for your help.
Oh, Mildred is too overcome with grief to do right for her daughter, let alone for her town. I can better provide for Seaflight now than her mother can. It is simply the right thing to do. It is my hope that in the future Mildred and I can come to an agreement that will allow for the care of Seaflight in a more satisfactory fashion. What? He wants to marry Seaflat or something? No, that sounds. Let's see. Oh. Well, actually, isn't he already married? Oh, oh yes, they did say something about coming to Cliving. Oh, hello there. Oh,
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
Pineleaf, we meet again. We have been here for a few days, but have been unable to speak with Reeve Othaward. He has not refused to see us as Aldor Harding, but has passed naught but excuses through his doorward. Perhaps you will once again speak on our behalf? An impending invasion by a horde of Kundlar Easterlings is not a matter to be taken lightly. If you could, either convince Othaward to speak with us directly, or relate our tale to him as best as you may. Well, see, I just spoke with him. All right, he's asked me to do something for him. What if I ask him after I get back from that and maybe he'll be in a mood, all right? Good. Now, let me see Seaflot. Ah, apparently she must have joined the guards on watch duty. Hello there, Seaflot. I was here to relay a message from your mother.
I saw you coming to Cliving from afar, and I wondered what your story might be.
And now you have come to tell me your story yourself. That's wonderful. Ah, my poor mother. I do miss her. Some days I miss her terribly, but knowing that she is still at home eases the ache somewhat. Worse are the days when I miss my father and my brother, for they are never coming home. But I am happy and cliving as I can be. The Reeve is kind to me, if distant. I think he blames himself for all the grief my family has endured, and wants to make amends for it. I am treated well. Look at the view from the walls. There is just so much more going on here than at Elthangles. Yes, I am happy here. I hope my mother is not upset about that, but that's the truth. But tell her that I do miss her. All right. I will speak to her on that and keep a sharp eye out there when you are on duty. Now, I guess I need to hmm, speak with the captain. Hello there, Cuthred. I was asked by the Reeve if there was anything you need me to help with.
The Reeve sent you to me to help with our problems? Good.
Good. We can refuse no offers of help that we get. Cliving has been less affected than some other towns in this writing, but still there are orcs about that we need to deal with. Them if we are to keep our people safe. Yes, we do.
An important part of guard duty involves riding the bounds.
Yes, let's ride the bounds, looking for threats lurking too near the city. If you have a war steed and the skill to ride it, I would encourage you to help us with this duty, Pineleaf. Ride east of Cliving until you see the marker that delineates the bounds, and then turn to the south. Continue this process, turning to your right at each marker until you have described a great loop around the city. Defeat any mounted enemies you encounter in the circuit, Pineleaf. You will be doing the people of Cliving a great service. So, I need to head about to each of these markers. And I think once I do that, I'm hoping that the Reef would be impressed enough that he will listen to me as I speak to him concerning the Easterlings, because I've seen the Kundalar army, and I know they can be a bit of a problem. Will all be well as I ride the bounds? Will I be able to convince those crofters to evacuate their homes? And will I be able to convince the Reeve to listen concerning the Easterlings? We'll have to find that out in the next episode of The Complete Pineleaf.